Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Kenneth Moore, and today I will be walking you through the different definitions of race, culture, ethnicity, and ethnic associations, as well as how to better yourself in it and my associations. So, further ado, let's get into it. So first thing I'm going to go over today's race. Race is often described as groupings of people who all share physical or ancestral ties. This isn't the only thing that can be called race, but this is what's often called. Um, Oftentimes, race can be different things, such as cultural associations, like Canadians, Germans, Jewish, Israeli, something like that. It can also be used to identify with other groups, such as religious, like Anglo-Saxon, Catholic, Jewish, Hinduism, the whole slew. Everyone has their own definitions, really. And talking on the talking on stuff like Canadians and Germans, we can go on to the next slide. Ethnicity. Ethnicity is often referred to as something like physical race or location, such as um, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, something like that. But it's really not just that. Ethnicity can be anything, such as political affiliations, religious affiliations, heck, sports teams, you could call it. Oftentimes, ethnic people have their own courses that conform with their faith, such as poutines for Canadians, which is fries with cheese on it, really, and some other things mixed in there sometimes. Or, say, hamantaschen for Jewish people. Hamantaschen is a small star-like cookie that they eat at quite a few meals or celebrations. Talking on the different affiliations, then we can move on to gender. Gender was originally referred to as male or female. That's all they called it before, but it's really been changing for the better now. Gender can now be used by someone to describe how they want themselves to be described, such as he, her, she, him. I'm sorry, she, her, he, him. A little tongue-tied there. Or they, them, ze, there, something like that. Gender is really now just interchangeable, as gender identity is a much more mainstream and much more accepted in today's day. Gender is also something that has become a hot topic issue, um, with many people up in arms about it, and likewise they should be. This is something that you can set yourself and should be respected for yourself. On that, different gender groups can also be minorities, bringing us into our next slide of minority groups. Minority groups are often people who are underrepresented, such as LGBT, or certain occupations like police, fire, medical, EMS, something like that. Just people who are underrepresented and do not make up large portions. Um, Minority groups were discriminated against in the past, and sadly still are in certain places by certain people. Hopefully that can be brought to an end with different accepting of cultures, of race, identities, stuff like that. And it's just something where minorities don't get the representation that they deserve. On that, we can go into my cultural identity. My cultural identity is Catholic. Three aspects to my identity is our community outreach, embracing of others, and loving all people. So, community outreach is people of the Catholic faith, as I guess in my church, often do community outreach programs like food drives, can drives, homeless shelter, soup kitchen, stuff like that. It's not a huge issue in my area, but it is in some larger areas where I've gone to help before. Another aspect is embracing others. This really just means that we're not going to put someone else down for their beliefs, their views. It may have been done in the past, but that's no longer accepted and it shouldn't be. People should be able to practice whatever they want, whenever. Third aspect is just loving everyone. We, I should say, most of us are loving people. We accept people. I know for a personal fact, we just had a recent family that came into our church. They came from India. They practiced Hinduism before they came here, and they converted to Catholicism when they got here. I don't think I've ever seen someone be more accepted than them. They've been shown the ways of the Lord. They've been shown small town ways that everyone loves them. From that point on, we can move on to how you can be more culturally competent. Most people really don't step out of their fields. They really don't travel all that much and they don't see other cultures. Personally, I don't. I went to Japan when I was younger. It was very nice. I got to see a lot of different cultures, but since then I really haven't left. So one thing you can do is research other cultures. Go and look up Hinduism practices, or say Jewish practices, or Catholic practices if you're not Catholic or Christian or something of that denomination. Another thing you can do is visit other areas with different cultures. This doesn't have to be, say, you go to a whole different country. This can be something where you go to a heavily Asian district, say in Madison, or you go to a farmer's market that has different types of food from different areas, and you try to learn from them, you talk with them. Another thing you can do is speak with people from other cultures and learn from them. As I said before, this can really help as it can open your eyes up to other items that you might not have known about. Like, my sister lives in Spain right now, and when she tells me about some of the stuff that they do there, I'm just gobsmacked because it's not something I'm used to hearing, not something I would probably ever hear if she didn't tell me. And on that topic, always be open to change. Be open to learning, be open to making others comfortable, or being able to take in new information. On that note, everyone just treat each other well and have a good day. Bye bye.